Well, some pretty good advice there from Roy Ferris and Dr. Robbins. Certainly have to be very careful whenever there's a solar eclipse. Watching the sun, it can cause very serious damage to your eyes if you try to watch it directly.
But I don't have to worry about that because I can't see that far anyhow. No, it really is a dangerous deal, but tomorrow is going to be perfect weather for viewing it. Nice sunny skies. Ideal. I'm going to go out there and take a look at it myself.
I'd like to see it too.
All right. The satellite map shows that there was quite a bit of cloudiness over the northern and western portions of the country earlier today. That has all pretty much dissipated now as the front that caused it has moved all the way through the state and is now out into the Gulf. No further problem for us from that except for the cold temperatures coming. They're not really cold when you look at them objectively, but compared to what we've been having, pretty much on the chilly side. The front, as I said, is now down into the Gulf, no further problem. A high-pressure center up in the Panhandle is now moving down towards us, and that's going to give us a couple or 3 days of bright, sunny skies. In fact, the only serious weather anywhere in the country is east of the Mississippi right now. Some showers hitting down around Florida and up into the Gulf Coast states. Rain has ended at New Orleans. It rained there for about 4 hours. They got better than 2 inches of rain. That has now dropped down to the south of them. The only other area, up through the northeast, all kinds of different things happening. Some showers in the warm air ahead of an occluded front moving in this way. Some more showers in behind it, but it's a little chilly back behind here with temperatures down into the 40s already. And then some snow falling back behind a weak trough coming in. This whole area is moving towards the east, but by tomorrow night, everything should have passed New York City, so the second game of the World Series probably won't get rained out. It may get frozen out. Temperatures will probably be in the 40s at game time. We'll have to wait and see on that, of course. Going back to the west, however, just nothing happening. You can see a high-pressure system out in Idaho. That's pretty well blocking anything from coming down, and that will guarantee us a couple of days of good weather. 9 degrees in Laramie, Wyoming was the cold spot in the nation. Also very chilly through the Colorado hills. That's an area of interest also. Hunting season opens tomorrow through that area. At least 3 days of sunny skies, but a little chilly in the morning. Low temperature 35 to 40, but warming up into the low 60s in the afternoon. So it'll be good out there for at least 3 days. The next front should go into that area Friday night or Saturday, and that may bring some more snow and even colder temperatures. We'll have to keep an eye on that. So as far as warm temperatures are concerned, about the only place left down in the California deserts. 98 degrees at Thermal, California. The next warmest place was Brownsville with a 91, and then we have Miami with 86, and that's about the only place where the temperatures are really on the warm side. Everywhere else either comfortable or cold. Action radar shows that there's nothing happening in central Texas. In fact, at the moment there's nothing happening within the entire state of Texas, at least as far as precipitation is concerned. The only clouds in the state are located right along the coastal areas in through Galveston and Corpus and Brownsville, still showing cloudy skies. As that front moves a little further out, those clouds will follow with it. That'll leave the entire state clear tomorrow. As this high drops down, that'll take care of our winds. They've already died down to a nice steady state light wind. That will keep us under fairly windless conditions for the next couple of days as well, and that will let our temperatures drop tonight once again. Up in the Panhandle, the highest temperature Amarillo could reach today was a 59. Right now they're down into the 30s, and they'll probably get a freeze there throughout the Panhandle and the South Plains as well. Our temperatures won't get that cold, but they'll feel quite chilly. Today's high and low range from a 56 this morning, which is way, way below what we've been for a long time, and the high only reached 70. Right now, under clear skies, the temperature has already dropped down to 57, but the humidity is very dry, 35%. Winds are from the north at only 7 miles an hour, although earlier today they were gusting up to 39 miles an hour. Pressure very high at 30, 35 and continuing to rise, and we had just a trace of rainfall when that front went through at about 3 a.m. So for tomorrow, we're looking for bright, sunny skies to continue, and that'll let the temperatures go way down. 46 for the low and the high only reaching 68. Winds out of the northeast, but only about 10 miles an hour. Then on Thursday, sunny skies once again, and somewhat of a moderating trend in the temperatures, the low getting down only to 54 and the high reaching into the mid-70s. Winds will be light and variable, and that means just gorgeous weather for at least the next 2 days. Friday is likely to be as good, and maybe even Saturday. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Okay, Richard, thank you for that. It's probably a good thing they went down, Richard. As I understand it, the weather didn't get better, it got worse.
Right. Part of the same storm that forced them down has now developed into Hurricane Evelyn, but it's about 1,000 miles out in the Atlantic heading towards the northeast, so it poses no threat to the United States and probably no land masses. And there is the start of what could develop into a nor'easter working its way up the coast as well, so things are not too good out that way. In fact, the satellite map shows that that nor'easter is about the only real cloudiness anywhere in the country. You can see it just off the central Atlantic coast, lots of clouds. The only other mass of clouds is sitting out in the northwestern portion of the country, and that's been breaking up all day. This satellite map ends in the morning. And at this point, just about everything off the east coast is sunny. The storm out along the coast is causing some real problems. It's dug in fairly deeply. The low center itself is just over northern New Jersey right now, and that's causing tremendous rains all the way from Maine down into Virginia, and quite a bit of erosion through the beaches in Delaware. A lot of flooding expected in New Jersey tonight, and that's going to cause them some problems. Once you get out of that immediate area, however, there's really not much happening. A cold front is dropping through the center of the country, almost into the panhandle now, moving very slowly to the south, but as you can see, there's nothing with it. It's very dry and no problem seen with that at all. Back up towards the northwest, now that that front's gone through, nice, cool, comfortable temperatures with a couple of high-pressure systems governing everything. Gunnison, Colorado dropped to a 19-degree reading this morning, and for the people out there hunting, the Colorado hunting season is getting on towards its finish now, but that's a little chilly to be up in the hills. And, of course, down in the southwest deserts, 104 at Palm Springs, California. They still get warm. Outside of those two areas, though, temperatures definitely in the comfortable range and can't hardly beat it. Action radar continues along its merry way, showing nothing. That's the way it has been for the last several days. It's the way it will be probably through next Wednesday. It looks like the earliest time we could get anything in here. As far as that front is concerned, it is dropping slowly towards us. We expect it to pass through tomorrow night sometime. When it does, it'll just drop the temperatures about 8 or 10 degrees, and that's about it, leaving us well within the comfortable range and continued sunny skies. And then the beginning of next week will start to warm up. For today, at least, temperatures all right in the around 80 degrees with just a couple of exceptions. Midland up to 85, 91 at Presidio for the high spot in the state. Very comfortable, and you can't lick that either. As far as the football game, beautiful weather to go pound on Arkansas. Mostly sunny skies, winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15. The temperature at kickoff time just about in the high 50s. Just perfect. We're going to go beat them like a drum. Today's high and low range from a 47 this morning, which ties a record set back in 1948, to a beautiful 80 degrees this afternoon. Right now, under clear skies, the temperature has fallen to 68. The humidity is up higher than it has been for a few days, 59%. Winds are from the south at 12, the pressure 30, 12 and rising, and the rainfall 0. So for tomorrow, we're looking for a continuation of bright sunny skies, and that will let temperatures drop down a little bit in the morning to 54, but then raise them up to 81 in the afternoon, and winds out of the southeast about 12. Then on Sunday, after that front comes through, we'll stay with the sunny skies, but that'll drop the temperature somewhat. The low about 48, the high only reaching 72, and winds shifting to the northeast at about 15. Even though it'll be a little bit cooler, that's still fine for fall weather, and I don't see how we can look at the next possible chance of any rain is next Wednesday. So we look for at least 4 more good days.
Oh. Now it's time to turn to the weather with Richard. And Richard, it's noisy out there. What's going on?
No? Oh, it must be the guys in the bowling alley.
I don't think so.
Well, Hendrick Hudson and Rip Van Winkle with the bowling. Now, there's a few thunderstorms out and around, and it's nice. We've gotten some rain out of it already. We'll get some more in the next couple of days. Look like we have a pretty good chance for showers during the entire weekend. The satellite map shows that there's a tremendous increase of cloudiness over what's been around the nation for the last couple of days, and that will continue as well. Quite a bit up in the northwest with one front just coming onshore. More clouds moving into Texas, both from the southwest and also a little bit coming up off the Gulf, and also some still lingering up through the Great Lakes in that region down across the Florida Peninsula. All told, the clouds are a welcome change from what the weather has been. There are a number of places that have been starting to have some problems as far as precipitation is concerned. Of course, we've been among them for quite some time now. We're better than 8.3 inches behind an annual rainfall. Tonight's rain will take us down below 8 inches once again, and over the next couple of days we could get some more. The one area that has cleared out in the last 24 hours is the northeastern portion of the country. Nice sunny skies there after about a week of cloudy skies and rain, and with the clear skies, it managed to drop their temperatures. Bradford, Pennsylvania, 25 degrees for the cold spot in the nation. Back behind there, however, the next front is on its way towards the northeast. Showers all along its length. That will reach them within the next day or two and bring them back down in cloudiness and rain showers. I'm sure they could get along without that quite well. That front is moving slightly to the south, but it won't ever quite reach us. It's going to get down to the Red River, turn back into a warm front and back out again. However, we do have a trough out to the west. That's moving in our direction and should pass here sometime Sunday afternoon. Until it does pass, we'll have scattered showers, and that should help increase our rainfall total quite well. Before the clouds and rain showers moved into the state solidly this afternoon, however, Brownsville managed to reach 90 degrees, and that was a hot spot in the nation. Back behind this front, of course, the next front is starting onshore right now. That should reach us in about 4 to 5 days and hopefully bring us a few more showers as well. Action radar shows that there's still some activity in our area, not quite as much as there was earlier in the day, but you can see just about all the way around us. Down to the south, not too much out due west, but up north, a good-sized thunderstorm, a little bit more out to the northeast, and also some due east of us. That is dying out somewhat. All the action is moving to the north, and as it does so, we'll gradually lose this tonight, but we do expect redevelopment tomorrow, and that should bring us even a little bit more rain. Temperatures around the state today started to get fairly warm before the clouds and showers moved in solidly. You can see mostly into the 80s. That's a little cooler than it was yesterday. In several places not even reaching 80, among them both Lubbock and Houston. However, by tomorrow, these temperatures will be down even lower. The clouds will develop early and stay with us just about through the entire day. Showers continue throughout most of the state right now. By tomorrow, they'll cover just about the entire state, and that'll be a welcome relief. We're way behind in rain. Just about the entire state is. We can use it. As far as the football game in Dallas tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies and widely scattered showers around. The winds will be out of the south at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. And the kickoff temperature should be just below 80. They'll hit 80 at halftime, and that'll be the high for the day in that area. Today's high and low range from a 64 this morning to a warm and comfortable 88 this afternoon, but that stopped suddenly when the rain came. Right now, with the thunderstorm in progress down at the airport, the temperature is 66 degrees. The humidity, thanks to the rain, is way up, 95%. Winds are from the northwest at 8, thanks to that shower. The pressure 30-11 and rising, and the rainfall 33/100ths of an inch. Lake levels unchanged from yesterday. The rain may help it a little bit, but not too much. They'll still stay depressed from their normal levels. Now, so for tomorrow, we're looking for generally cloudy skies with widely scattered showers once again. Low temperature 65, the high only reaching about 82, and winds from the southeast at 12. Then on Sunday, showers again in the morning, but will gradually clear once that trough comes through in the afternoon. That'll let our low go down to about a 61, and the high only reach about 76, with winds staying out of the south at about 12 miles an hour. So it looks like a real rocky weekend as far as rainfall is concerned, but it'll help out enough interest that we'll have to suffer through with it.
It'll be all right. Richard, thank you very much for that. Well, Richard, it really got cold this morning. About 25 degrees, I guess, eh? But I understand it will be better tomorrow.
Right. Well, this morning felt like winter, and tomorrow morning can feel a little bit more like fall. We're getting much warmer air up, and temperatures won't go anywhere near as low as they went this morning. The satellite map shows that we had quite a bit of cloudiness moving around the country, but very little in Texas, although we're now starting to pick up some clouds over most of the state. Lots of clouds out in the area of California and extending across the Rockies. That's the system that brought 100-mile-an-hour winds to California yesterday. Today, those winds moved into Colorado, also still about 100 miles an hour. All that action will stay well north of us, and you can see the East Coast is now cleared out, with the front that was out there yesterday having gone well offshore at this point. Things around the country, for the most part, are fairly quiet. Wind is the biggest story as far as weather. Not much in the way of precipitation. One of the heaviest areas hit by precipitation today, however, was Buffalo, New York, once again. But all they got was 1 inch of snow, so that's not too bad. Slow flurries continue in through the eastern portions of the Great Lakes and down into the Appalachian chain, but they're very light and widely scattered. The next front is sitting up through the northern portions of the Plains states. It's moving slowly in our direction, and sometime around Sunday it should move into our area. It'll join up with a trough that's currently in the New Mexico area, and the two together will come moving through. Nothing associated with it in the way of precipitation, but we will get a little bit of wind, and it'll drop our temperatures somewhat. Temperatures around our area did warm up considerably today, and they will continue to do so over the next couple of days, and then cool off a little bit when that front comes through. Back to the west, some snow falling in the higher elevations, some fairly heavy rains down in through California. However, Bakersfield still managed to reach the high in the nation, but that was only a 74, a little cool at this point. Things all told are fairly quiet. That should stay that way for the most part tomorrow, and gradually over the next couple of days, things warming through the center of the country. Action radar shows no precipitation in our area, and in fact, there's no precipitation falling anywhere within the state right now. That should also be the rule for the next day or two. Temperatures around the state today warmed up quite a bit. We got up about 4 degrees higher than we were yesterday, and tomorrow we'll jump even higher. However, out in Junction, 17 degrees was the low spot in the state this morning, and in contrast, a 72 out in Presidio this afternoon was the high. So the only real surface feature of importance is that trough. That's keeping us with a strong southwest flow and keeping our temperatures starting to climb up, and quite a bit of wind around the area as well. Today's high and low range from a very cool 25, but that was not a record for us, to a rather comfortable 59 this afternoon. Right now, under cloudy skies, the temperature is 51, humidity extremely dry at 27%, winds are from the south at 13 miles an hour, the pressure 30.14 and rising, and the rainfall 0. Lake levels unchanged and not expected to change over the next few days. So for tomorrow, we're looking for partly cloudy skies, much like we had today. Low temperature dropping only to about 46 and then getting back up to a high around 72, with still fairly strong winds out of the south at 15 miles an hour. Then on Saturday, going to mostly cloudy skies, and that'll be due to the winds shifting to the southeast at 12 miles an hour, bringing us quite a bit of moisture up off the Gulf, and that'll keep our temperatures up even higher, 52 for the low and 76 for the high. So we had a touch of winter this morning, and it looks like that's all we're going to get for the time being. Maybe next week we'll start to turn cooler, but in the meantime, nice and warm.
Right. Looks like a comfortable Christmas, but not a white one.
Right. The word radar is short for radio detection and ranging. It was first developed during World War II for use in locating enemy ships and aircraft, but was badly affected by interference from weather conditions. This led to the idea of using radar to detect weather systems at long range. The United States Weather Bureau began using weather radar in the early 1950s, and the first unit in Austin was installed at the airport in 1955. Radar has since become an important forecasting tool for use in predicting both severe weather and local area conditions. Action radar basically consists of 4 parts. This is the transmitter. It produces a radio signal with a frequency of over 5 billion cycles per second. That's about 5,000 times faster than the highest frequency on your AM radio. The signal is then sent to the antenna, which shoots out a very narrow beam of energy in extremely short bursts, each lasting about 2 millionths of a second. After each burst of energy, the radar listens for a return signal. The receiver, located at the center of the antenna, catches these returning echoes. It then sends them to the indicator screen, where they are displayed for use by the forecaster in determining the size and movement of weather systems. That's what action radar does. How it does all this is the subject for tomorrow night's report. Richard Katz, Action News. Yesterday we talked about the 4 main parts of a radar unit: the transmitter, antenna, receiver, and display screen. Now let's take a look at what actually happens between the time the signal is beamed from the antenna until a pattern is available on the screen. The signal is released as very short bursts of energy which travel at the speed of light. When these energy bursts strike a target, such as a rain shower, the bursts are scattered in many directions. Some portions are reflected back along their outgoing path and picked up by the receiver as a returning echo, which is then sent to the screen for display. This particular screen is one common to almost all radars. The center point represents the location of the radar here at channel 24, allowing it to show our entire viewing area. The screen itself is a cathode ray tube, very similar to a black and white television picture tube. By using an electron beam to excite chemicals on the inside of the screen, a picture of the weather conditions is clearly shown. Unlike a TV picture tube, however, the images on a radar screen last for several seconds, allowing each additional piece of information to be added as it is received, and thereby present an overall picture of the weather. Radar represents the most current weather information possible. It shows exactly what is occurring at the time you're watching it, at distances far beyond that possible with the naked eye. Richard Katz, Action News.